Okay, good. Okay, so we have 79 slides, you guys, and we have to do this in 9 weeks, so I'm going to use my calculator. Let's see. It's going to be about 79 slides divided by 9 weeks. Yeah, about 9. We have to do about 9 slides, 8 or 9 slides a week. Okay, so let's see what 8 is. 8 is. Okay, we'll stop on 19. Okay, so the first slide is pretty easy. You just have to write your name and the first name, the first number. That's all you need to do. That's pretty easy. But the important thing here, though, is that I would like for you to get into the habit of writing your last name first, comma, and then your first name, and then your middle name. Okay, that would first name. Okay, that would be very helpful because in this country, United States, and really now in a lot of countries because of globalization, we have people from all over the world. And a lot of times, or sometimes, we can't tell which is the first name or the last name. Okay, and this will probably happen to you too at Stanton because we have students from all over the world at Stanton. And so if you write your last name first, then we know, okay, this is the last name, and the other one must be the first name. Okay, so write your last name, comma, first name. Make that a habit. I think it's a good habit, generally speaking, to ensure that everybody knows what your first name is and what your last name is. That one's easy, very easy. Okay. Number 2. Again, now, one of the things I should probably mention about the case study is that there aren't any right or wrong answers to this assignment, okay? I don't want you to feel like pressure that you have to come up with the right answer or something, do tons of research to develop the perfect answer. So there's no right answer. It's up to you. It's your point of view, and depends on your preferences and your values and your goals and things like that. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just do the best you can and answer it honestly. That part is important, okay? That part is where you want to be honest with your answers, okay? Because this is an assignment that should transform your life. It should make you a wealthy individual, okay? And because that's kind of the purpose of the assignment, to be honest with you. I have an MBA from UCLA, and I can tell you, based on my experience, that a lot of things you learn in the business program schools are not that useful. They're just theories and concepts and terminology and sometimes strategy, but it's not that useful. I mean, it's useful in the sense that you learn the vernacular and you can communicate as a business person with other business people. And it might help you to get a job. It might help you to keep a job, but it's not as useful as applying for wealth. In my assessment, the business schools need to be more practical. They need to be more personal and more practical, so that people who enroll in a business program, when they come out of a business program, they can become wealthy. Not just learn a bunch of terms of vocabulary and concepts and some strategy to be able to apply for a job, right? To be able to land a halfway decent job or maybe a good job. That's not sufficient. Okay, so that's what this is about. This assignment should help you to become wealthy. And I guess to substantiate that to some degree, I guess I should mention that my wife's an immigrant. My parents were immigrants from Mexico, and my wife is an immigrant, and we're currently have a net worth about I think we're over 2 million, the net worth is over $2 million. So this works, okay? It works. If I had this kind of training when I was your age, I think our results would have been better than they are now. But even so, a net worth of $1 million puts an American in the top 10% of the country. which is not bad. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this slide reads to plan or not to plan. And it begins with a very famous quotation by a very famous gentleman by the name of Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin is considered one of the founding fathers of the United States, which is the largest economy in the world and the most powerful country in the world. Not the richest country in the world, but the most powerful country in the world. The United States is among the 10 richest countries in the world. Benjamin Franklin was an inventor. He was a scientist. Some people credit him for discovering electricity, maybe so. But he was a very courageous individual. He, during the American War for Independence, he got on a wooden ship. We're talking 1776 or so, and sailed back to Europe, right, to meet with with Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI, who was her husband, and to convince them to support the American independence movement from the British, which they did, and that was pivotal in helping the United States gain its independence from Great Britain. So he's a very important person in the history of the United States. And he's quoted as having said that if you fail to plan, you're planned to fail. And personally, I think this is very true. Now, not everybody will do some planning. And you don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. It's your choice. Okay. But I would recommend it. I think so. I think planning is very important. It's not everything. Back in the 1980s, in the business schools, strategic planning became a very big deal. One of my professors was Steiner, who at UCLA, and I think he's considered the father of strategic planning. And everything was about planning in the 1980s, and maybe the 70s as well. I don't know. I was in business school in the 70s. And planning is not everything, okay, but it's an important component of getting to where you want to be in terms of your vision and your mission and your goals. Okay, so it says in the come to write down your thoughts and feelings in response to this famous quotation.